Hi Aries, welcome to your reading for Sagittarius season. This season we're going to be really reflecting on where our winnings are, where they come from, how we embody them, who around us adds a little sparkle into our lives. These are all great things. And with that is also having to, like I said, when we reflect back, it's also trying to figure out where our winnings really come from, or who in our life is sabotaging those wins or taking from those wins, owning credit, all of that stuff. So it's the clearing away. Okay. Excuse me. We're also in a Mercury retrograde in Sag. So I feel like for most of us, our philosophies are going to be challenged a little bit. What we think, what we believe in may be challenged by others. And then you would have to then discern if the other people that are challenging you, are they people you trust? Are they people that you respect? Are they people you would want to switch lives with? That's very important to consider, okay? Sometimes people like to just state opinions without having awareness, or it's kind of a distraction from their own issues, right? So I'm just saying, take everything with a grain of salt. All right, Aries. So in Sag season, what we're going to do is we're going to go and do a past, present, and future spread. We're going to keep it simple. And we're just going to kind of dive into it a little bit as well, okay, to see what everything really means, where it's stemming from, how you've progressed, and what's in store for the future, right? So if you're new here, welcome to my channel. This is the Witch Switch, where we switch off everyday normal life and switch on to the witchery. If you've returned, greetings, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me yet again. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tap on the notification bell to get notified for my content. And all my information and Instagram and stuff, check that out. Add me. Sometimes I do in-person events. So if you ever want a personal reading with me, follow up with me, especially if you're living in the New York, New Jersey area. All right. And PA. All right, Aries. So let's get into it. I'm going to pull out 3 cards from the Enchanted Tarot deck. And I love this deck. It's from Poppy Palin. And the imagery is so beautiful, and they're big enough. The cards are big enough for you to see. And that's what I like too. Because sometimes, although I prefer this view, it's not as clear as I like it to be. So these cards help enhance the visibility. All right, let's see what you got. Oh, before I get into it, I'm going to try to make this reading only 10 minutes long, okay? So I'm going to put 10 minutes on the clock. All right, Hermit, past, present, the Sun. Future, Queen of Cups. These are all great things thus far, Aries. You've learned a lot. You've done a lot of reflection in your past. And now I feel like there's the reward from the reflection that you've done. The Hermit always has the light shining on him, right? The light is just something as minuscule as a lamp. But we've been in the dark for so long that we've relied on this lamp, on this inner light that we had. Now it has illuminated to the sun. We've expanded our confidence, our light, our fire, our passion, a sense of value and worth of who we are, and it has illuminated. Of course it has. We're almost in Sagittarius season. So this is what I'm saying about reflecting on your wins, on your luck, even if that luck is a feeling. That's something you're meant to work with. All right. And the future here, we have Queen of Cups, and what popped out is the Page of Cups. So in the Hermit, in your past position, you were also learning on how you can basically manage your emotions with others. Maybe you were someone who was so easily given, and someone who was that of servitude to others without anything in return. You were just kind of happy to do it, but it took a lot from you. But it's also an inner strength that you have to be so giving, because Aries, let's be real, your cup, how is it said? Never runneth over. Is that the right way of saying it? What I'm trying to say is that no matter how much you give, it just seems to be inexhaustible. But back in the day, you once gave so much Queen of Pentacles to the Lovers in the return. You gave so much to relationships that were just nothing but potential. There was no guarantee. There was no reciprocity. The relationship was kept alive because of you. But it dimmed your light a lot because you overexhausted yourself. You could be inexhaustible, but still exhaust yourself. You know what I mean? There still needs to be electricity and energy to the machine. So now we have grown and we have prospered in a place of the sun now. We know our value, we know our worth, we know what we're capable of providing. We know we have something that others do not. And this is something that we could totally value and put our bet our life on, right? I would say that for the longest time, you know, with this giving energy, this giving nature of yours, you also just didn't know how to get to the right people. So, you know, your purpose is to give and to provide to those that you love, but it's having better judgment, all right? And expanding yourself to meet people outside of your comfort zone or what you're familiar with, right? So it's getting into practice of developing more healthier routines that provide benefit and provide like dividends. And also, I'm getting for most of you, this is a time where you're just dedicating to yourself the love that you've once tried to buy or tried to earn. You realize that you really didn't need anymore. Everything that you want in a person, you already embody. So for some of us, it's a sense of feeling very comfortable in our own skin and within our own company. And it seems that peace is now more of a higher value and virtue than anything that money can buy. And of course, you know, value and currency doesn't have to come in form of money. It doesn't have to be something physical or tangible. You know, your time, your energy, that's a resource that you value a lot. And you rather have more in than anything else. Right? So when we have that value within ourselves, we're able to, like I said, our cup never runneth over, but now we're keeping our cup to ourselves. We're providing that love to ourselves and no longer feeling the need to have to entertain people who constantly want to play victim of their own circumstances, or people that constantly it's like having one foot on one side and one foot in another. It's being spread too thin and not being able to keep on promises. Okay. And I feel that with the Queen of Cups here, I think you've learned something about certain people. You know, people can only meet you as far as they want to meet themselves. And in a way, you have a lot of compassion and empathy for that. But at the same time, you also understand that you don't need to entertain. You don't really need to entertain relationships with people where you're not getting anything in return. We've been there, done that. We are completely comfortable and confident in our own company, in our own skin, with who we've become, our own identity even. Like we're golden. You're golden, Aries. I'm an Aries, so I could say where. But golden, 100%. And it's a beautiful thing. And this is something that if you feel like you're still in the hermit space, I promise you will get here to the sun by Sagittarius season, without a doubt. So please hang on to that. Really think about it. Your whole circumstance will change, Aries. Things will become better. Things will become warmer, sunnier, brighter, more fulfilled. If you're going to be giving and being providing, you're going to be providing to people that really do need your help and assistance and your love. It's those that have been looking for someone like you all of their lives. And I just don't mean that in a romantic sense. I feel like, Aries, you provide the type of light and fire that a lot of people are living without. You have something that is a life force within itself. And it's something that you can light everyone else's home for them. And it brings in comfort, it brings in peace, it brings in coziness and warmth and inspiration. It's life. That light that you have does help a lot of people. But you have to recognize and understand there are some people that are just going to take advantage and don't want to share you with others. So it's something, and that's what the sun is. I mean, Leo knows how this feels, but Leo can control it. Leo can handle that kind of attention. You can't. You need your freedom. That's not something that you really care for anyway. Okay, let's bring out some oracle cards here. Also, I just want to say this real quick. Because it is a Mercury retrograde, it is possible that people may want to express the lack of consideration that they've had for you in the past. You can allow people to express it. Doesn't mean you have to accept them back in your space. But again, it's entirely up to you. But with this retrograde, you could have people that would want to express like resentment or remorse or, even apology. Again, it's up to you whether you want to accept it, but it's there. And I know you feel it. And I feel like that's probably why the Queen of Cups is being highlighted in the future, okay? So again, if you feel like you're still in hermit mode, focus. Just know that things will get better and believe that they will. You will attract the sun again, as well as people wanting to come back and return because they need the light, don't they? And it's true, Aries. People love to put you out. They love to put out your fire. But boy, once that fire is out, they always want it back again, don't they? And it becomes harder and harder to light as the time goes. So remember that. Don't let anyone make you feel less than. You're the shit. All right, we're going to pull up some prompt cards. Let's see. The 10 minutes are up, but we'll pull this out. Okay. What do you need to make peace with? Interesting. What do you need to make peace with? Think about it. Reflect on it. That could be something that will help you let go of certain situations that may come back around. This is some reflection that you may need to do within. Okay, it seems that you've got your values and your virtues in check. You've also learned the lessons from the past. It took a while, but we got there. Sometimes we need to ram our head a few times, but that's okay because we have a double-layered skull. Did you know that? A ram's head is a double-layered skull. That's why it's able to headbutt like that. And what do you need to make peace with from either people or situations from your past that you've learned from, the outcome of? How far have you reflected from the last few years till now? Are you the same person? Do you think you'll handle certain people or situations in the same way if they were to come to you? Make peace with some of these things. Let them go. All right, Aries, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tap on the notification bell, follow me on Instagram. All of that is below, and I will talk to you later. Bye.